Well, our next guest knows firsthand how vulnerable families are right now in Gaza. Carroll is president and CEO of Anera. His organization has been delivering food, hygiene kits, medical care, and a lot of love to children and their families in Gaza and other areas hurt by the conflict for decades. As you can see just by these pictures through the years, Anera not only responds in crisis, but also has a lot of programs rooted in these communities with the hope that they can also help the local people live with purpose and hope. Sean joins me in studio today with more on what he and his staff are doing right now to get resources to the thousands of Gazans who are in the middle of this humanitarian crisis right now. And, you know, Sean, I want to get to these pictures in just a second and talk more about your organization. But since we have you and we just received this video via Inez de la Quintera, the ministry there, Hamas-run Gaza Interior Ministry, because I want to be very careful. They are the ones saying that this was the Habalisha camp, a very populous area there in the Gaza Strip that was struck. Do you know that area? And tell me your just reaction about what you just saw as well.
Well, it's more tragedy and horror. It's the Jabalia camp, and I've been there many times myself. Our staff work there. We probably have someone working there nearly every day. We have built a kindergarten there. We have refurbished a water pumping station that serves the residents of Jabalia camp. And as your viewers may know or may not know, 70 or 80% of the Palestinians living in Gaza were already refugees from other parts of Palestine and from what is now Israel. And that Jabalia camp is full of refugees who were forced from their homes in other parts of the land.
And you know, we talk so much about just the innocent Palestinians that are caught right in the middle of all of this. And you know, well, I have you another question that comes to mind. Maybe you can put into perspective to our viewers. You know, Hamas doesn't discriminate, and not all Palestinians support terrorist organizations like Hamas. So, you know, when you see people like this impacted, what can you tell us about how you know, they're not supporting the terror that's going on in their land, on their land?
You're right, Carroll. Most Palestinians, as populations everywhere, they're just trying to live a decent life. They're trying to take care of their family, provide safety, food, shelter, school, work. Gaza normally is a vibrant place where people are going to work, they're going to school, they're farming, they're working in hospitals. There is an economy. There's been a blockade and a siege imposed by both Israel and Egypt for more than 16 years, so life is difficult, commerce is difficult, but what's happening now is a complete and utter tragedy, and people are dying, of course, from the bombs, and soon we'll see people dying equally as senselessly from starvation, from thirst, from disease spreading. It's a terrible situation.
Well, let's talk about what you all are at least trying to do right now. I mean, it's a war zone right now. You know, in the past, you've been able to bring in medical supplies and hygiene kits, and I've seen the beautiful pictures of what you provide the people there. So now we have these recent pictures of your folks in Gaza. And I saw this one of a UN shelter school that your staff was cleaning out and getting ready. Can you tell me about that, and also the preparation of, actually, this is a different picture. These are the hygiene kits that are coming through. So why don't we start there, and then we'll try to get back to the other pictures I'm talking about. Tell me about these hygiene kits, what's in them, and what are you bringing to the people right now?
Yeah, these hygiene kits are normal household hygiene, toilet paper, soap, shampoo. We're also distributing menstrual hygiene management kits. People who've been moved from their houses, and 1.4 million of the 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza have been forced from their homes. About half of them are living in UN shelter schools that aren't normally equipped to house people, and those are jammed from between 3,000 to 17,000 people in each one of those 150 schools. So we're providing hygiene kits, we're providing food. The issue is that this was all procured locally, and unless and until more aid comes in, and it has begun to come in, we run out at some point. So we've delivered 1.9 million meals, hot meals, packaged meals, some produce.
And we're looking at that right now. Now I can see the fish that's being cooked. And where were you doing this, and how was this?
We're working with farmers that have fish farms in Khan Yunis and in Rafah in the south, previously in the middle area as well. Those large meals of fish and rice can serve 3 family members. Today, I believe we delivered 3,000 of those, so 9,000 meals. And we've delivered 1.9 million over the past couple of weeks, but the supplies are slowing. And so unless and until more food aid comes in, we can't begin to even scale up what we're doing. And people tell us, our staff say, we're only whetting people's appetite. There is the brink of starvation. People are going hungry. Our staff there get calls all day long saying, please bring us some food. We don't have any. We delivered food to the church, the 3rd oldest church in the world that was bombed. We brought meals there. We're trying to bring meals wherever we can, but that food coming in and medicines and medical supplies coming in. We deliver normally last year $40 million worth of medicines and medical supplies in Gaza alone. I believe that number is going to go way up because the need, of course, is going up, but we need to be able to bring it in.
How do you get it in, considering the circumstances right now? And do you see this conflict different from other conflicts?
I do. This is much worse. It's much worse. It started out, with recognition of what this was, because it's happened the last 2 years and it's happened 7 or 8 times over the last 20 years. But this was much bigger pretty quickly, and by now this is the most disastrous tragedy and infliction of violence and depravity on the Palestinians in Gaza in their history. And this is looking like it's bigger than the original Nakba from 1948, the catastrophe of 1948.
And that's what the conversation has been around, they've been bringing up 1948. One more question, if you don't mind. Does Hamas work against you?
No.
Do they try to prevent you from bringing in?
No, we have a no contact policy with Hamas. We follow U.S. and international law on ensuring that aid and our work doesn't go to armed terrorist group that are prohibited. We have a no contact policy. They don't ask us for anything, and we don't ask them for anything. We work with local communities and make sure the humanitarian aid goes to humanitarian response in need.
Well, I have seen the things that you do in the area, and it's just remarkable. And the farming and the hydroponic systems and everything, it's quite remarkable. If you don't mind, we're supposed to have a briefing in about 20 minutes or so. If you are flexible, we'd love to have you stay with us and maybe listen to what we hear out of the White House and the Pentagon and maybe get you to respond when it comes to talking about the aid.
Sure.
Great. Thank you. Sean Carroll. Appreciate it so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.